Hey team, welcome to the Builders Ladder podcast that the top residential building company owners and general contractors listen to get their business ahead and buy back their time while earning more money. Here's what's in store today.
If you've got a pissed off customer, the best way to turn them into a raving fan, a profitable one in the future, is to do a couple of things.
People won't tell other people if they've had an average or a satisfactory experience. They will put out a high ratio where they've had a shit experience. This builder's horrible, don't use them, they didn't do this, this and this. And conversely, if they've had an exceptional experience, ask them to put it out as well.
The Builders Ladder is brought to you by The Professional Builder. Get proven systems and expert coaching to reclaim your time, make more profit, and build a systemized, profitable company that buys back your freedom.
Alrighty, and we're live. We're going to stop talking off air and start talking on air about this issue. So, big question that came up in our community recently was how I've had a pissed off client, a real pissed off customer. What do I do? So this is exactly how to turn pissed off clients or customers into profits.
Yep.
By yours truly.
Exactly. We've had a lot of experience with this over the years.
Well, it's the law of large numbers. You're in business for 20, 30 years. You're going to end up with 1, 2, 3% of people that are livid with something. And
absolutely.
Often, honestly, it's more a reflection on them than it is on yourself, but it is an opportunity to own the problem and own the solution, because often, and like over to you, like you can walk us through this, because there's a lot of psychology involved, there's a lot of process involved, and there's a lot of opportunity for growth involved.
So I think the first thing is to you go into like red mist mode, or the 7 stages of grief, and typically the first default is anger very quickly. Like, holy fuck, what's happening then? How dare they do this? And why now? And we haven't done anything wrong. And one of the great things is to reframe it and think, will this matter in 5 years' time?
Yeah, extend your time horizon out.
Exactly. And the more you can do that, the less you will wind yourself up, get anxious about stuff, be overly concerned. You still need to take it serious, but ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years' time? Mm-hmm. I think then the second thing is this a recurring problem? So are we getting this complaint on a regular basis? Right? Is your punch-out list take like 6 weeks to complete instead of, a week or 2 weeks?
Yep.
And if so, and you're pissing people off at the end of your projects, why is that? Is it because you're pulling all the guys off and you're not dedicating, you're not getting a punch-out list, your own team to go through their punch-out list at the end and actually knock off that final 5% that the homeowners are getting frustrated with? And then once you've done that, you're saying you've relegated it to the importance that it is, you've put in place a process, is to then look at what process and systems do we need to put in place that are going to help reduce this common incidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The next thing is your response to the person. So I've always felt when, and I've something I've been working on my whole life and getting better at it now, but immediately I used to fire back straight away. I'd fire back, reply on text, on email, on Messenger.
For going to war.
Exactly, that's right. Fuck you, right. But now I take time to decompress and give yourself at least 1 hour. If you give yourself an hour, you'll suddenly get a lot more context. You'll have a lot more information. You'll be able to talk to those closest to you. You'll be able to talk to those closest to the project and the person, and hear from the builder, hear from the subtrades, hear from the people who are actually in their house on what actually happened. So I think the first thing is information gather.
Yeah.
That's going to give you time to take a couple of breaths and then consider the course of it, the next steps in the course of action that you're going to take.
Yeah. The worst thing you can do is like jump on the grenade straight away, right? Because it's not usually helpful for anybody, because you don't have any answers at that point. You potentially don't have any solutions. It's important to acknowledge the receipt,
100%.
That you've received it.
100%.
But you don't have to propose solutions immediately. Because
100%.
if it's a problem and it's being called up as a problem, then you potentially don't have a solution immediately.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for bringing that to my attention, Bob. Let me talk to the guys and let me come back to you later once I've got to the bottom of this.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. So the beauty, though, is if you're able to solve a problem for an irate client, they can actually turn into
raving fans.
Yes.
Yeah, raving fans. Because there'll be a way that you can delight these people and go over and above to compensate them for their grievances, this is if it's true loss of, whether you're having a lawyer battle is a different thing.
Yes.
And be able to turn them into raving fans by asking them, cool, what were you upset about? What are you not happy about? What does success look like, or what would you be happy with? Okay, cool. Let's see how we can make that happen. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to bend over backwards for everyone. But what it does mean is you have an opportunity to air the grievance, get it out, to look at their side of the coin, and then to compose your reply and to put in place an opportunity for reconciliation and to create a raving fan. And the way that you create a raving fan is by going above and beyond with regards to what their expectation is. So satisfaction is the equation for satisfaction is expectations minus experience. So if you think you're going to a movie and you're going to a chick flick and you're expecting it to be a 5. Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. And The Intern, great film.
Robert De Niro.
Yep. And you think, it's going to be a 5. And it turns out to be a 6.5. Then you're plus 1.5 and you're like, I had a positive experience. I'm satisfied. But if you're going to go to, I don't know, let's say
The best restaurant in town. You're like, bro, this is going to be a 10 out of 10. I cannot wait. It's going to be incredible. And as soon as you walk in, you then have to wait for somebody to seat you. They don't fill your water straight away. And it's like a 9.8. Let's be real.
Yep.
I'm not that much of a Madonna, but it's like a 9.8. It doesn't actually hit, let alone exceed my expectations.
Exactly. And then you're going to feel disappointed. You're going to feel maybe a bit ripped off. Shit, we paid all this money. Mm-hmm. So we need to craft expectations, and that's done through communication, clearly outlining where the builders will be at, where the subtrades will be at, what the project timeline is going to be. Mm-hmm. Like we're having a project done at the moment on our garage. Mm-hmm. And the builders have been there for a week or 10 days now, and they've prepped the roof for the painters, the jib stoppers. Well, I'm fucked if I know when they're arriving or when they're turning up or what's happening. And I'm like, well, should I leave my car down the driveway? Should I move my car out? My wife's coming home with the groceries. Can she put it in? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So just some simple communication like that would go a long way. And you can use this as a learning to teach your team, this is where we broke down. This is what we need to do to get better. Here's how we're going above and beyond for your customers to show them, hey, we are a company that cares. We do follow through on our word. We do world-class work. And where we don't, or if things go askew, then here's how we fix it.
Yep.
And I would put this, you will then get some great testimonials. Bob went above and beyond. Teams was fantastic.
Yep.
Bob not only did this, but his guys were there the next day. He called the painter, the jibber, and the tiler, and they came out and they were there first thing in the morning, and they got 4 days worth of work done in 2 days so that we could have our garage ready for the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So quite often when people are voicing a complaint or a concern, one of the first things you need to do is make them feel heard and seen.
Yes.
So you have to lean into the problem. You cannot bury your head in the sand. Picking up the phone, hey, I've heard that there's an
100%.
issue. Can you please bring me up to speed from your perspective? Can you share with me your insights and what your concerns are? And then hearing them. You don't have to solve them straight away, but you do have to hear them. And this is where you're going to have to bite your tongue sometimes because they're not interested in your excuses.
Yep.
They're interested in your solutions. So, but you don't have to provide the solution just yet, but you do have to hear them, make them feel seen, make them feel heard.
People won't put out on social media or tell other people if they've had an average or a satisfactory experience. They will put out a high ratio where they've had a shit experience. I went to a terrible movie. These guys suck. This restaurant was bad. This builder's horrible. Don't use them. They didn't do this, this, and this. And conversely, if they've had an exceptional experience, you can document that, get a short video from them, and put that out and ask them to put it out as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then use that for your website, your testimonials, and your referral program and put it everywhere.
Nice. Just to recap, if you've got a pissed off customer, the best way to turn them into a raving fan, or a profitable one in the future, is to do a couple of things. Yep. Own the problem, own the solution. So accept that it's your job to provide a solution, right? So number one, get to lean into this problem, you get to own the problem, you get to own the solution. Whether it's one that we need to go to court over or if it's, just a niggly little one, that's something else entirely.
Just this communication will reduce half the complaints, and acknowledging them so that they feel seen, felt, and heard, and that their grievance is real in your eyes. And
Exactly.
you take it as seriously as they do.
Yep, that's number 2. Make them feel heard, make them feel seen. Number 3, get input from your team and other people, because like nobody by themselves is as smart as everybody together. Yep. So your team might be much closer to the problem than you are, and you can get their insights and their input into the issues and the potential solutions. You don't have to come up with the solutions exclusively on your own. Your team can help you with that.
Exactly. It's a great opportunity for your team to learn and to brainstorm. Great. How do we improve this part of the process, the last 5%, the punch-out checklist, to get it done quicker, better, and to have our sub-trades sign off their work?
Exactly. Yep. And then lastly, once we've got a solution, document it, improve it, and make sure that it doesn't happen again. Exactly what you're saying. Train your team, send it out to market, and make sure that everybody is on the same page so that we know what the solution is, what we can do to fix it, and that you've educated the market on how you are improving your business at the same time.
Exactly. And ask the person if they'd be happy to give you a testimonial.
There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Hope that was helpful. Hopefully you don't have too many challenges with clients over the next 12 to 18 months. But if you do, then here's a podcast for you.
All right.
Want to go more in depth on today's topic and buy back more time whilst earning more money? Get a free business health audit and plenty of free resources over on our website, theprofessionalbuilder.com.